Agniveer scheme has a big history to it. Let me take you back to the time when we had just won the Kargil War. What I want to say is that it was a scheme which was well thought of. It was a scheme which was born out of a compulsion. If a person dies or he is disabled during the period of training, he is given a certain amount of money. Provisions are still under discussion as to how the people who leave after 4 years can be laterally absorbed in other jobs.
Why has government introduced an Agniveer scheme instead of regular recruitment?
The Agniveer scheme has a big history to it, and to realize as to how and why it has come by, we need to go back a few years. And let me take you back to the time when we had just won the Kargil War, and the Kargil Review Committee was constituted to draw some important lessons. A lot of good lessons came up, and Kargil Review Committee recommendations for the first time were implemented in a big way, so as to correct the structure of our armed forces, the training aspects, the operational aspects, the need for surveillance, intelligence, and on so forth. Now, it was a part of this recommendation that the committee felt that our armed forces should have a youthful profile. We were fighting a very tough battle in steep mountains, and while our officers and men did a wonderful job, our whole terrain in the northeast and west is something like that. So there was a need to keep the profile down. They talked of the officer cadre also, and also for the other ranks. There was a group of ministers who were also debating on certain other issues, and even they recommended that there is a need to keep the profile of the armed forces young. While this all happened in 2000 and thereafter, a lot of things were implemented, but this aspect of youthful profile did not get acted on at that time. Later on, we had a standing committee of defense, which was part of the 14th Lok Sabha, and they were looking at the structure of the armed forces as well as the need to, make the profile young. So they also suggested that we could resort to reducing the color service of the other ranks, and in a way that they come as a short service entity, and after a few years they leave the armed forces and they are helped to be laterally inducted in paramilitary forces and other avenues. Again, this was something which was discussed, but it did not really take place. And then we came to the 5th Pay Commission. The 14th Lok Sabha committee also made a recommendation that why can't we have a national pension scheme applicable to the defense. This scheme was established earlier for all government services, but it was not made applicable to the defense. Again, this recommendation was not acted upon. The issue then came to financial aspects, and during the 5th Central Pay Commission, they reviewed the entire authorization of allowances, pays, scales, and other issues. And again, they found that the strength needed to be, the army needed to be right sized, and right size would help us to ensure that our salary pension bills are kept in check. Again, it was suggested that we should try and reduce the color service for the other ranks, but these could not be implemented that time. The 7th Pay Commission also had a similar recommendation, and they had specifically said that we should be able to adjust those who are leaving the army after a short time into the paramilitary or the Central Armed Police Forces. This issue also remained stuck in 2015, and that is where, when the new government came to power in 2019, for the first time they announced the authorization of a CDS, and with the CDS a Department of Military Affairs was created within the MOD. So what I want to say is that it was a scheme which was well thought of. It was a scheme which was born out of a compulsion. It was a scheme which was studied in great details by the Army, Navy, Air Force, as well as the Ministry of Defense. And it is only when the implementation started that there were some issues which kept raising, which are there in the environment. But I am sure that the armed forces, whenever they implement a scheme, they do carry out reviews periodically, and through the reviews, recommendations would and could be made to try and put this whole thing on track and make it effective.
Sir, basically what are the key benefits of this Agniveer scheme?
Agniveer scheme is basically meant for recruiting young males who would serve in the armed forces for a period of 4 years. Now this 4 years is meant to give them a basic training of the armed forces, and at the end of 4 years we would select and keep 25% of the recruited people and absorb them into the armed forces as a permanent cadre, which leaves 75% of the people who will have to exit after doing 4 years of training. So just to quote this thing specifically, the Agniveers who join, they get a salary of 30,000 rupees in the first year, 33,000 in the second year, 36 in the third year, and 40,000 rupees in the fourth year. Out of this, they are required to save 30% of this salary and deposit it as a corpus fund. This is a corpus like the Provident Fund, which is kept in his name, and the government subscribes an equal amount. At the time of completion of 4 years, he gets whatever he has saved with interest and an equal amount given by the government. So if you roughly calculate Agniveer, when he leaves the armed forces after completion of 4 years, he would have saved about 5.2 lakhs. Government gives the same amount, and you include the interest, it comes to about 11.7 to 12 lakhs as a corpus that he gets while he leaves. Anybody who leaves before completion of 4 years, he gets his corpus money with interest, but he does not get the component of the government which is equally given after completion of 4 years. That is one. As far as benefits are concerned, all Agniveers get the benefit of medical treatment in the hospitals. They get free rations, they get free clothing, and they get the stores from the CSD also. They are not allowed, they do not get allowances in full except for the essential ones. So that is what they earn while they are serving. The other aspect is that how much of risk factor is covered. So there is a procedure by which if a person dies or he is disabled during the period of training, he is given a certain amount of money which is calculated in this manner. He gets an insurance money of about 48 lakhs. Insurance for which he does not contribute any premium. That is being given to him by the army, by the services. In addition, he gets the Samman Vidhi which has been generated for them. Whatever money he saves, he gets the same money from the government with interest. So that also amounts to around 12 lakhs or so. And he also gets, if his death has been caused due to operations, terrorists, or in field, which is attributable to the service, then he gets an ex gratia also, which is almost up to 44 lakhs or so. This is his emoluments he gets. If he is disabled, then he gets additional money instead of ex gratia, which is dependent on the percentage of disability. If he is disabled, 50% disabled, then he gets 50% of the ex gratia amount. So the money could be 42, 25 or 18 lakhs accordingly. So this is what Agniveer will get, since it is a temporary stay for him of 4 years. But the benefit that he gets of training, of being in the army environment, of getting employed in various terrains and areas. So there is a method by which he is instilled with discipline. He learns how to be a part of team. He learns how to be cooperating with each other, and there is an amount of respect. So he feels proud that he is contributing in the cause of nation.
In what ways does the Agniveer scheme enhance the skills and employabilities of participants?
See, a period of 4 years is fairly adequate for certain basic skills to be absorbed by the Agniveers. They are put through the army training or the service training. So there is physical fitness, there is military subjects to be learnt, there is field craft and battlecraft, there is an expertise in use of firearms and weapon systems, and he also understands the nuance of defending the borders, carrying out patrols, carrying out ambushes, which are basic things that the armed forces are involved in these areas. It makes him more self-confident, it makes him more self-assured, and it is hoped that when he walks out from there with a corpus which he gets while he leaves, he would have imbibed certain good qualities to make him a good citizen and also make him confident to get another job. Herein I would like to say that the provisions are still under discussion as to how the people who leave after 4 years can be laterally absorbed in other jobs. There is a possibility of absorption in the paramilitary forces or the Central Armed Police Forces. There is a possibility of employment in industry, in banks. So talks are on with these various avenues as to how and how many could be inducted there. So this is the manner in which he goes about. Those who are absorbed, 25% as of now, they then join the mainstream and they are eligible for all the salaries and allowances which the other soldiers get.
Sir, what action is contemplated by the services?
Okay, what you mean by asking that is, how does the service deal with the Agniveer? I think we are all aware that there is a lot of talk about Agniveers. There is a lot of speculation about where they will go, what they will do, what happens to those who do not get absorbed, will they get a job, who will help them. 4 years is too little. The service headquarters, whenever it implements a scheme, it ensures that it monitors it periodically. And by monitoring I mean they are looking at the impact of the scheme that is unfolding as these people arrive for training.